Hey everybody, Dave Bartosiak here with Zacks.com. I've got a very special guest in the studio with me today to go over Nvidia's earnings. It's going to be after the market closes at 3 o'clock. Of course, it's 2 o'clock now. Want to give you some trade ideas, what to expect out of Nvidia, and all sorts of stuff like that. So joining me in the studio today is Mr. Sean Battle, a.k.a. IT extraordinaire, a.k.a.
You're too kind.
The BattleTech Gaming YouTube channel guy who runs it.
Some guy that's just on YouTube talking about games.
Yeah, so we're gonna have you detail, relate to the masses why next quarter is gonna be so good for Nvidia. Talk about some of their actual hardware that's going to come out and relate it to kind of the normal everyday folks so we can understand it, or at least the investment folks so we can understand why it's so important. But before that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's to come today. So let's take a look at the chart right here that I have up on my computer, taking a look at the price, consensus, and EPS surprise for Nvidia over the course of the last several quarters. Probably my favorite chart in the history of Zacks because you get so much information on this chart. So if you take a look at these green arrows, these are the earnings, in this case, beats for Nvidia. The larger the magnitude of the arrow, the bigger the beat. And if you scroll over them, you can see the details, which is really neat. So in this case, the quarter that ended, that they reported in August 2014, you had a 31.58% earnings surprise, and then you can see what happened to the stock. So I'm not really concerned with this history way back here, although it's great and it shows you, look at all these beats. They just beat, they just beat, they just beat. It happens all the time. Every once in a while, you get this little guy. Wouldn't worry about this little guy though. Small disappointment there, negative 7.69%. Take a look at when that was though. That was the quarter 1 year ago. So that's basically what we're looking at, compared to today. Also, these lines are the consensus estimate line, or Zacks consensus estimate line. You want to see these consistently going up, right? So we had a little bit of a problem in mid to late 2015, but if you take a look now, it looks like these have started to straighten out a little bit. So things are looking good. Moving forward. Now, last quarter, that's the important part. It's not going to pop up here on the screen, but I can tell you that last quarter earnings came in at 35 cents versus our Zacks consensus estimate calling for 32 cents. It was a very nice beat, and the stock reacted very well to that beat. Now, if you think about last quarter, you had basically the holiday season that was priced into that. There was also some announcements coming out of Nvidia regarding their partnership with Volvo for autonomous car driving. That's going to be a big deal. This isn't just a company that makes graphics processing units, although that's a big part of what they do. It's all about the autonomous driving also. So we do have that. Again, the 3 beats in a row. But Sean, really, what is it going to be about these chips? Like, why am I going to go out, or the normal gamer going to go out and buy this generation of chips? What's so special, and why should we care?
Well, one real big reason, price to performance. Never before have we seen such a generational leap since the previous generation of GPUs. We are going to see some phenomenal performance out of this generation of Pascal cards. And that's mainly due to the new 16 nanometer process, which means they can shrink down a lot more of the transistors and pack a lot more in, while at the same time reducing the TDP from like 250 watts down to like 180 watts.
So that's the power draw.
Yes,
so they're more efficient cards,
way
they're
more
smaller.
efficient. Yes.
And just to chime in real quickly, the manufacturer that's helping them out is Taiwan Semiconductor, which is also a publicly traded stock, ticker TSM. You can take a look at that. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and speaking of the memory, they actually worked a little closely with Micron for a whole new type of memory. It's called GDDR5X. but they're calling it G5X for short. And this thing has crazy performance already through the roof. And right now, we were expecting to see high bandwidth memory too, which we're seeing in not Nvidia, but their competition AMD's chips.
Sure.
And already the G5X they're dominating AMD in throughput and overclocking and everything. So it's going to be kind of scary to see later on in the year when Nvidia finally releases their HBM2 cards. It's going to be really scary. And just to put it in perspective, the cheapest card, this 1070, is going to be $370, and it outperforms Nvidia's $1,000 card that they released last year.
That's pretty remarkable. Now, so my understanding is with these new chips, with the new graphics cards, we're talking virtual reality, augmented reality, and 4K. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, while Nvidia hasn't released any hard evidence or benchmarks, mainly because they have an NDA, which will be up on
because of earnings probably.
Yeah.
So next week they'll be able to talk about it.
Yeah, on the 17th we're going to be seeing a lot of benchmarks and things like that. So we're going to be hitting some crazy numbers if what we're to believe from the press releases and the keynote that we just saw last week. It's going to be a great time to be a gamer, and it's going to be awesome.
Sure. So would you say that they are the leader in the VR space because of this?
Oh, most definitely. The VR workshop is going to be included in this generation of cards, and it's a whole new set of software instructions to help head-mounted displays and things like that to display VR a lot faster and more efficiently. So we're going to be, before you needed massive amount of GPU power to even render a virtual reality scene. But now with Pascal, they've perfected what I like to think is they've perfected their craft in terms of the VR space. So they're gonna be very, very, very powerful when it comes to that.
I think that's why people should be excited about the stock. But really, that's kind of a next quarter sort of thing, because you're not going to have that this quarter. Those cards don't come out until May 27th for the 1080 series, and then the 1070, is in June. So June 14th, something like that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So that's what we're talking about there. Now, how are we going to trade this bad boy? Let's go ahead and dig into the options chain here. If you take a look at this chart, right now, Nvidia is trading about $35 per share right now, give or take, right? $35.60, somewhere around there. So what you need to do is you take a look at this options chain. I've got the calls on the left side, I've got the puts on the right side, and you go ahead and you add up the price of the call and add up the price of the put. So in this case, it's 178 plus 123. So that takes me to 301, and then take that 301 divided by the $35. So that gives you about, what, 9% there? So that's the move that we're going to be pricing into Nvidia on this earnings report right now. So when I sit back and I start to think about what we're expecting out of this report, and what maybe some of the surprises are going to be, I just don't see there's going to be many surprises. Again, compare this to a year ago quarter where they disappointed. I think, I don't want to be bearish on Nvidia here because I love the stock, especially next quarter because it's going to be great. But this quarter, I think you got to watch out a little bit. A 9% move seems a little bit hefty, personally, for what I'm talking about. Now let's take a look at the chart, the actual stock chart that I have here. Again, I used freestockcharts.com. Put a link up there on the Facebook feed. There's also a link to the 7 must-own stocks for the next 30 days. We have our Zacks panel of experts. Take a look at all the Zacks ranked #1 stocks and find you the best of the best. So make sure you click to get that free report down below here on Facebook. Okay, now back to Nvidia. I like to use this volume at price chart because what this does is it tells me how much volume, how many shares were traded at these different price levels. In the case of Nvidia, we've had a real nice rally coming off of that last earnings report. that really hasn't even looked back. If you look here, here's this last earnings report. This was the earnings report before. So a nice move upward. Broke out from this $34 level, kind of came to retest it. But right now we're sitting up here, 35.63 right now. So the top end of the range is like 30, looks like 37 and a quarter. Got a little bit of support down here at 34. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And if you look at the options chain, if you're talking 9% to either side, $32 on the bottom end, $38 on the top end. So is there going to be anything that comes out of Nvidia that pushes it above and beyond these resistance levels that we have to either side? I don't personally think so. So, a couple ways that you can make these trades. First, I'm going to go back to this options chain here. So we have it. And again, just give you some option strategies here. You don't have to do the option strategy if you don't want to. You can just wait and do it old school style. So what I mean by that is go ahead and just buy the stock or short the stock, right? So if you are bullish on Nvidia because of this, one thing that I would consider doing is actually selling the call spread, because there's so much implied volatility inside of these call options. I think it's too much, right? I think 9% is too big for this stock right now, given the overall marketplace right here. So if you are bullish on the stock, I think the thing to do is just go ahead and sell the put spread. Okay, so rather than buying a call and hoping that Nvidia appreciates because you got all that juice, why don't we just do the opposite? Let's just bet against the people that are betting against it. Sounds a little complicated, right? It's not that bad. It's not that bad, I promise. So what you're going to do is you're going to sell the at-the-money put, $35. You're going to go ahead and buy the out-of-the-money, the $33 one. It's going to cost you 82 cents or 82 bucks, right? Because it's times 100 because you're dealing with options. You're risking 118. If it hits for you, if Nvidia ends up trading above 35, closing out above 35 at expiration, which is tomorrow, by the way, 69% return potential on that one. Again, but you do have $118 at risk. That's one way to play it. The other way, if you're bearish on the stock, you could go ahead and sell the call spread. This is actually the strategy that I would do. And again, I'm very bullish on Nvidia over the long run, but Zacks ranked number 3. I really don't see a catalyst this quarter that's going to push this thing. And I think there's just too much juice inside of these options. So I'd be selling the 35-37 call spread. I sell it for 87 cents. I got 113 at risk. That's a potential 77% return as long as Nvidia trades and closes the day tomorrow below 35 bucks. So, bet you didn't know that was 2 ways you can trade Nvidia.
Yeah. You're a bit out of my realm there. I'm more techie.
Yeah, I know you're the tech guy. So basically,
learning something here.
What do you think could be? Because I was kind of giving my opinion is I just don't believe that there's anything Nvidia could come out and say as far as last quarter that could wow me. Is there any numbers you think that they could give us? Is there anything they could tell us about this new chip that we don't already know that might just have people completely floored?
There's one thing, and it's the topic of a lot of debates, and that is if they're able to pull off 4K at 60 frames per second, that's render a 4K scene at full 60 frames per second, I think that is just going to completely blow everybody out of the water. A lot of people don't think it's possible. I think it's possible in some games, but of course there are lots of more demanding games out there that you're not going to be able to hit that mark on. But if Nvidia can come out and say, with this lower wattage, you can have a lot more overhead to overclock your card, which, in layman's terms, you're squeezing more performance out of your chip than what it's supposed to do. But if they're able to somehow pull this off, I think Nvidia is going to be the summer of Nvidia. ATI, they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Cool. So I am going to have to show you what I'm talking about with some of these options plays.
Oh,
Teach you how to make a little bit of money on your knowledge that you already
so
know
I can
about
get
this
that
thing.
second 1080.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, remember 7 must-own stocks over the next 30 days. That's the link below. on Zacks.com/live. You can take a look at what we got going on there too, give you some details. And in the meantime, I hope you make a few bucks on this trade. I want to hear from you, though. Nobody said anything about the last time when we talked about Tesla earnings, so I really want to hear if you guys made any trades, if you made any money, what happened, talk to us. If I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, tell me that too. You don't like my beard? You're crazy. There's no way you don't like this beard. You know why? You know why, Eric? Beard game strong.
Haters.
Anyway, guys, again, with Sean here, it's BattleTech HD is the YouTube channel that he's got. You guys should make sure to check it out for all things tech related, keep you on your toes, and who knows, you might learn something about a stock that you might want to throw some money at in the tech world because of this fine gentleman here. So, me and Sean signing off right now at Zacks.com. Thanks, guys.